Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome back to the Ummahpreneur podcast. I'm so excited for today's episode, guys. You won't believe how excited I am because I have with me today a very special guest. I know I say this every time, all right? Cut me some slack, but truly today is a very special guest. His name is Akbar Sheikh. He is the winner of multiple 2 Comma Club awards from ClickFunnels. He is a multi-7-figure entrepreneur, and he helps other entrepreneurs reach 7 figures in their business with his make more, give more philosophy. Everything that he does really has at its core, and really something that I love and admire about you, Brother Akbar, is that at its core, everything that you do has that philosophy of making more and then giving more, that philosophy of philanthropy and really giving back to our community, our loved ones, and those in need. So I'm really excited to dive into all of this and understand what fuels you, how you got to where you are today, and what we can learn from your journey, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the podcast.
Wa alaikum assalam. And it's really cool to say wa alaikum assalam. I don't know. I don't know how many podcasts I've done, 100, over 100. I really have no idea, but this is the first time I get to say assalamu alaikum on a podcast, and it's pretty cool.
That's awesome, man. I'm so happy to hear, bro. And honestly, I'm just grateful that you made the time to join me today because we are an up-and-coming podcast. This hasn't really been done before in the Muslim space, like having Muslim entrepreneurs, shining a light on them and what they're doing. And I truly, like for myself, looking back at when I was starting in my journey, if I had something like this where I could, look up to entrepreneurs like yourself, get to hear an inside view on their experiences, what it is that they've done to grow their businesses, I would have been much further than I am today. And so it's awesome.
You know what? I love it, man, because the truth is, like, I don't have to convince any entrepreneur. Like, you want to grow, you want a shortcut to growth, get a coach, get a mentor, right? Mm-hmm. And it's different. Like, I mean, I don't know about you, but I feel it, right? Where it's like when I go to, I'll give you an example. Like, I hired one mentor, paid him a lot of money, and we got comfortable with each other. He started making fun of, he was obviously, I shouldn't say it, but I guessed he was atheist because he was making fun of basically people who fall for, he was making fun of people who like President Trump and then who like believe in God. Mm-hmm. So like he was just making fun of certain, and I was like, oh, okay, we're not going to align here because like, like my day to day, I try to like run the principles that's like taught to me by God and like the Prophet, peace be upon him. So it's like there was not an alignment. So like there's so many coaches and mentors and like just like people who are a lot of them great people, right? But it's just like there's this other person I actually really like them, but they're teaching you how to grow with like magic, right? And there's other people who just like it's just different, right? Like for example, they teach you, oh, you want to grow your business? Okay, you got to start offering financing. Well, I'm like, well, I don't believe in I don't believe in interest, and they're like, what? And it's like there's so many things like that. Do you know what I mean? Like we run. I think Muslim entrepreneurs, we run. Let's just like speak the truth. We run on a different set of our ethical compass is a little different, right? It's a little different. And then you have like super Christian, like our brothers and sisters in Christianity. You have like different Christian coaches and stuff like that, like John Maxwell and this and that. But they're talking about, Jesus Christ all the time, being the Son of God, and they're trying. A lot of times they're trying to convert you. So it's like it's a little uncomfortable there. So it's like I really feel. Look, first of all, I mean, no one who knows what they're talking about is going to argue that you want to grow in business, you need a coach, you need a mentor. But then like finding one that aligns with you, man, it's like I've had difficulty with that, right? Like I've had a lot of great mentors. Honestly, they've done a lot of great things for me, but there was always that thing, right? Especially like you'll go like, maybe they'll do like a little event at your house and everybody's drinking, right? And stuff like that. So it's like, I haven't had, I'm not going to say I'm envious, but it's going to be cool for like the future Muslim entrepreneurs out there who are actually, because like right now, bro, there are none. Like there's hardly any, like really like Muslim, coaches or mentors and stuff like that. That's definitely going to change big time in this year, in the upcoming years. So like the future Muslim entrepreneurs, like I see, like right now, because I've been in the online game for a minute, bro, and it's like, I go to these conferences, bro, and it's like a sea of like non-Muslims, right?
Yep.
Only now it's starting to like you see, oh, okay, wow, that hijabi's over there, or wow, okay, that dude's over there. It's like you start, and they're winning awards, and that's like just now starting. So like I can see as black as white because I eat, sleep, and breathe this industry. Like that trajectory about like the population, the representation of Muslims in like especially the online entrepreneurial space, like that's been like this, and that's totally going to take off. So I think the future is really bright, and I think that you're definitely a pioneer and doing a really smart and really impactful thing here with this podcast.
Jazakallah khair, man. I really appreciate you, bro. And yourself taking the time to join me today. I wouldn't be able to build this if it wasn't for people like yourself who selflessly give their time, because we know very much as entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Sorry. No, I mean, it's not that selfless, right? I mean, most people come here because it's exposure. They build their audience and stuff. So like, like most people don't say no to like a decent podcast, right? But I mean, like, so it's not like, I mean, it's a win-win situation. You know what I mean?
That's my goal. 100%. But I still like, those people who believe in like the mission, the vision that we're building and are like, all right, cool. I'm ready to come here and support. I mean, to be honest, because like, let's be honest with you, alhamdulillah, we have a growing viewership, but we're still not like at the level of like the Joe Rogan podcast or anything that you might be able to go on, right? It's like, we're not going to make you $1 million overnight, but at least we're going to try to help you spread your message, and we're going to try to give some value to our listeners.
I really think that this space, bro, the Muslim entrepreneur space, is a sleeping giant, man, because you've got honest, ethical, hard. I'll give you an example, bro. There was this guy who was a non-Muslim, right? There's this company owned by a Jewish brother. And it was called ProPark, and it was this company where these Jewish brothers, they owned a bunch of parking lots in Connecticut, and they noticed that like it's a tough business to keep track of cash. And this is back when I was a kid. Like they didn't have like credit cards and all that. Like everything was cash. Yeah. So they had a bunch of parking lot attendants. A lot of times the parking lot attendants, they'd pocket the 20 because there's no tracking system. So what this Jewish company did, they started hiring. They got wind of it somehow. But they started hiring a bunch of Muslims to be the parking lot attendants. They saw their profit skyrocket because nobody was stealing anymore. Right? I'm not saying all Muslims are perfect and there's no Muslim thieves, but he found some good Muslims. He hired them, so it's like, I'm telling you, this is a sleeping giant. I mean, take a look at Indonesia. Like, people get shocked when I tell them this. It's like, what's the country in the world that has the most amount of Muslims? It's Indonesia. I forget the number now, but I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's over like 200 million or 200 million. I forget what it is. Yeah. Years ago, there were 0 Muslims in Indonesia, right? And so how the hell did that happen? How did it go from no Muslims to like the number 1 country in the world as far as population of Muslims? The story goes that a handful of Muslim merchants moved over there, migrated over there. Correct. And from their akhlaq or their manners or their character or their trustworthiness or the way they dealt with business, people just fell in love with them. And people actually just kind of like became Muslim because like, dude, these people are like awesome. They do such honest business. They're like really cool people. And, like, I mean, there's so many of us, right? There's over 1 billion. So not, there's all different types, right? There's honest ones, dishonest ones, and this and that. But the truth is, man, like from what I've seen, because I would question it. I'm like, dude, why am I the only brown dude around here? Like, I'm in the online space, right? I'm in the online like coaching space and stuff, and websites and funnels and marketing and sales and offers and blah blah blah. Like, I help online businesses grow to 7-8 figures, right? No matter where they're at, even if they're starting at scratch. But the thing is this: I'm looking around and I'm like, bro, like, why am I one of like the only brown dudes here? Certainly, and one of the only guys with like a name like Akbar Sheikh. And it was always kind of upsetting to me a little bit because I'm like, damn, dude, like this is such an awesome industry. Like online business is, because I come from a family, bro, of entrepreneurs. Like my dad had 8 brothers, 7 sisters, all of them entrepreneurs except for like one brother that was a doctor, and maybe one that was a housewife. And now all of their kids are pretty much entrepreneurs except for like one lawyer and one doctor. So like I come from a family of many generations back entrepreneurs, and so I'm exposed to a lot of business models. I grew up in retail. I know retail, wholesale, real estate. Like I know a bunch of stuff, and I was involved in a lot of stuff. And bro, like to me, the online business sector, to me, has been like the sexiest business model that I've ever been exposed to. As far as like, damn, dude, this is like really impactful. It's flexible. It's enjoyable. It's very profitable. I'm just like, man, we need more Muslims around here, man. And I think part of the reason for that is that it's like you heard that story about the 5-minute mile, right?
Yes.
For those who haven't heard it, I'll just explain it real
Please.
quick. And it's like nobody ever ran the mile. Like, you know, there's record books and stuff, Guinness World Records. Nobody ever ran the mile in less than 5 minutes, right? And like it was like a 50, 100-year history, whatever it was. You know, the fastest guy was 5 minutes and 3 seconds, whatever it was. So nobody really thought it was possible, right? Now, that's a key point. Nobody thought it was possible. One dude, I forget his name.
Roger Bannister.
Nice. Impressive that you know that, bro. Very impressive. Nice. So he ran in, I don't know, 4 minutes and 58 seconds, right? He broke the 5-minute mile, right? So now a bunch of people saw, okay, wow, this is possible. And so like it went like 100 years or whatever with no one, then one guy showed it's possible, and then like the next like 10 years had like 50 people breaking it or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Right. Similarly, like I'll give you another example. Like I had a buddy of mine, he had 0 African American customers. 0. He showed one testimony of an African American student who had some success in his program. Boom. Doors are flooded with African American customers because the people, whatever it is, saw, oh wait, that's possible. Right. So now Muslims, I think, are slowly seeing that, oh wait, you know, is this online thing real? Is this scam? Like, I don't know, but because you got to understand something. Like if you take a look at the history, especially in America, right? Like I am, for the most part, it's very historic.
Yeah.
I am of the first generation ever born in America. You know what I mean? First ever generation of Muslims born in America. One, you know, in a larger scale, right? For the most part, it's been immigrants. Like my parents were immigrants coming here. For the most part, that's the case. So you got to understand something. It's like a lot of people when they're in that environment, and people migrate to different countries. The biggest reason is because they're looking for better opportunity. Things are not going so well in their homeland, so they're migrating, or hijra, or what you want to call it, to get a better life. So they come with a certain mindset. A lot of the times they come in scarcity, right? Because they come from a lot of poverty. They want to come here and be very careful. It's a new land. It's foreign. They might not know too many people. They want to be very conservative. So a lot of like people my generation, they grew up in that environment. So they're afraid to take chances, to start an online business, to start an online business or whatever. Yeah. But that cycle's breaking now, man. So like the future of the Muslim entrepreneurs, especially in the online space, man, is for me, I think, really, really exciting.
You know, just to comment on what you just said, I had a call recently, which, to be honest, I won't lie, I actually walked away a little bit frustrated from, because I spent about 2 hours with this guy, like overcoming his limiting beliefs on, you know, like getting past through that boundary. And he was literally telling me himself, like, I've always wanted to start a business, and my parents would literally tell me, like, you should get a job. We're a family of like job earners, and like this is what we do, and like a job is the safe route. And I'm like sitting there trying to help him overcome those limiting beliefs. Spend 2 hours with the guy. Texts me like the next day. He's like, "Sorry, man, I'm not moving forward." And it's just like, oh, come on, man. You know. But yeah, I see it.
Dude, like it's so crazy, man. Because like I guess in the masjids and stuff, man, it's unfortunate. Like I guess I don't know. They don't like to mix money and or they don't like to talk about money or business in their khutbahs and stuff. It's very unfortunate because you never really hear about it in the masjids. But it's like, dude, entrepreneurship has such a rich history in Islam. The Prophet, peace be upon him, himself, our role model, was a merchant. His wife Khadija was a merchant. Some of the most beloved Sahaba companions. It's so weird for me to like say Islamic terms like on a pod. I've never done this before.
I love it.
Yeah, like the Sahabas, like they, you know, some of the closest ones were very wealthy entrepreneurs. There's such a rich history, and you know, like I'm not a scholar. I don't know if anyone can tell. I'm not an Imam Sheikh scholar. Nothing even close. I'm a sinner. But like, you know, there's hadiths that like say that like an honest merchant will go to heaven and be this close with the Prophet. You know, like this. You know, again, it's like it's odd for me to say things like that because I'm not like a scholar or anything like that. But dude, it's a rich Islam really promotes entrepreneurship. I've done a lot of research on this, man. Yeah, and so like it's going to be exciting to see, and it's happening now, bro. It's happening now. Like it's exciting to see that next wave of Muslim entrepreneurs.
Yeah. I want to ask you, because you're someone who has a lot of experience in entrepreneurship, not only in growing your own businesses, but helping other people grow theirs. What have you seen or what have you seen in your experience to be kind of like the winning traits or character profile of a successful entrepreneur, and how can we as Muslims try to embody that more to be successful in our own businesses, inshallah?
Bro, for me, right? And it's interesting because I got a cousin who's like, you see, like I can't do a job. Like I'm just not gonna last. Like I'm just not wired that way, right? So like if I don't make my business work, my family is gonna starve, right? As a matter of fact, my wife says to me, "What are you doing today at work?" I'm hunting. You know what I mean? So the number one thing I could tell people, like I failed a lot in business for many, many years. And there was a pivotal turning point in my life where everything changed. And that's when I was about to quit another business. It was like an online business selling digital franchises. And I was about to quit again because I'm working, not making any sales, not making any money. And I look around me, I'm like, well, damn, dude, like all these guys are making it and they're no different than me. They're not really better looking or smarter or taller or shorter or like a better accent or whatever. They're doing it. Why can't I? Because, a lot of us blame the system. But I was like, you know what, man? It can't be the system because all these guys are doing it. It's got to be me. So I went to my mentor. I changed, I got to change my approach. But that moment right there, I'll never forget. I was in the mirror and I'm just like, I am going to make this. And I actually was like maniacally laughing because I had such a transformational moment. Because I said, I'm not going to give up. Like I've given up on so many other things. I said, I am going to make this work or die trying. And it was like that commitment.
Yep.
Where at that moment I had already succeeded because I knew I was so happy because I'm like, after so many years of failures, I'm like, oh my God, like I'm going to succeed. And for the first time, because a lot of people like, we'll try it. I'll dip my toe. Let's see. Like that's not going to fly, bro. Like that's just not going to work. 100%. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to be all in and fully committed. I tell people, quit your job. Like put yourself in and look, bro, I sold my car to get into my first online business. You got to understand something. Like most 99% of people don't do that. Well, 99% of people don't make it. You know what I'm saying? So that for me is a very, very essential thing.
That's powerful, man. That's the kind of determination and commitment it takes. And I think that's what a lot of people don't talk about is like, what is the level of just raw commitment that is required to really achieve in business, achieve success in business. And one thing that I'm realizing more and more as we see this, and I think it's an advantage. Some people see it as a disadvantage, but I'm sure you've noticed this as well, is the barrier to entrepreneurship is getting lower and lower, but the requirements of excellence towards the marketing, the ads, the funnels, everything you do is getting higher and higher because of the amount of competition in the space, right? Like the level of execution required is increasing while the barrier to entry is lowering, right? And so it's this interesting period right now that I'm noticing where we're having more entrepreneurs, but really the ones that make it are the ones that are truly all in, not only in their businesses, but investing in themselves, acquiring the right kind of skills to be able to succeed, learning about marketing, learning what it takes, putting the time in, and putting in those days and nights of stress and anxiety as you fail and fail before you succeed. That's the only way to make it.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. There's just no other way. Like, here's the thing, man. Like, honestly, I go, like I've said, I've been on a ton of podcasts, and they always ask me, they're like, bro, what's the number one book on business? And you know what I tell them? And they get shocked. I said, pick up any one of your holy books. Pick up the Quran, the Torah, the Bible. Pick it up. That's going to teach you the best business practices. Because, like, honestly, like, it's all in there, bro. Like, it even says in our teachings, like, we're even taught to give people contracts, bro. Like, we're told to make contracts with people. And in the past, I haven't made contracts with people, and I got screwed hard because of that. So it's like, dude, it's all there. It's all there. And the hardest, like you said, bro, the hardest thing and the most frustrating thing as a mentor is dealing with really screwed up mindsets. People have a lot of mind trash, and they've been hardwired, maybe from their family, maybe from their environment, on that, like, they'll never make it in business. Like, I met this guy, I went to the ClickFunnels event. He was the first ever Palestinian brother to attend a ClickFunnels event. His family was begging him not to get into business. His dad even said, "If you become successful, I'll go dance on the streets." No, he said, "I'll go dance on the streets naked." Like he was basically just like poking fun at him and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of people go through that, and it's tough, man. It's really, really tough. I mean, the number one thing I could tell people, honestly, because I'm someone who's lost 60 pounds, and I can summarize a multi-billion-dollar industry in one line: you want to lose weight, burn more calories than you intake.
Mm-hmm.
If you do that, it's scientifically impossible not to lose weight.
Correct.
Similarly, I find business to be the same. There's only a few things, right? There's traffic, funnel, website, and sales. Right? And I could dice that up in many different ways, but I mean, really, that's the three core components. It's very, honestly, like, and this is a bold claim I'm making, but I mean, I consider myself a bit of an expert in this field. It is scientifically impossible not to succeed in business, right? If you want it bad enough. And I know that's a really bold statement, but no one's really been able to counter that.
That's a really interesting perspective. I want to dive deeper into what you just said, your framework, right? Because you're someone who, at the moment, I think your main offer, when I went to akbarsheikh.com, which you guys should all go on, especially if you're entrepreneurs already in business. I mean, you can let me know who is your target audience for this new offer that you have of really helping businesses get 7 figures. Who are you trying to reach?
Well, bro, look, 7 figures is just the cute marketing thing that we say. I mean, yeah, okay, we've helped our clients collectively do over $50 million. Here's the thing, bro. We all have choices. I mean, a lot of us don't know this, but we have choices. We can do what we want to do as far as business. You don't have to be in IT. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do, right? So why do I do this? Because if you're good in business, you can do almost any business. Mm-hmm. To me, it just feels right. I believe that Allah gives everybody gifts, and I believe that everyone's gifted. So for whatever reasons, I'm good at like business stuff, like helping people grow, like giving them some strategy and helping them grow. So I'm like, all right, man. Like, I don't really care about, like, you see all these people, like, they got Lambos and this and that. And that's cool, man. I've got, I had a Bentley and all that, but I don't really care. I used to live in an electrical closet and with no hot water, no windows, no showers. And I was happy, back then too. And honestly, sometimes believe it or not, I miss those days, even though, like, I got a mansion or whatever. But like, I honestly sometimes miss those days. But I'm like, well, why do I want to help people make more money? Well, there's 2 reasons. Number one, I want to help people make more so they can give more to their families, communities, and favorite charities, hence making the world a better place. Because, like, I find, and I talked about this in my TEDx talk, that, like, the key to living is giving. Like, because you'll see a lot of rich people. I know, dude, I've got rich friends who are suicidal. You know what I'm saying? Like they're miserable. Like, they're cheating on their spouses. Their spouses are cheating on them. They hate their kids, but vice versa. They're miserable. They got addiction problems. They got all the money in the world. So it's like money. I mean, it's like, people have heard this over and over again. It's kind of cheesy to say, but like, money doesn't buy happiness, but so like, what does? And I believe that giving actually makes you happier. So that's number one. Number 2 is that, like, dude, another reason why I love entrepreneurs, and like, all due respect, like, and a lot of people are not going to, like, well, I guess maybe not on this podcast, but I'm just gonna be, like, really honest with you guys. Like,
please go ahead.
It's tough for me to, like, like you'll have some Muslim gatherings sometimes outside the mosque or whatever. There's a little lunch or whatever. Mm-hmm. Whatever, y'all know what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. And people just kind of hanging out in a circle talking. I find those very difficult to be a part of, meaning that people, like, they're in IT or an engineer or a doctor or whatever. I'm not hating on anybody. It's just different in the sense where it's just like, they're not, dude, they don't care. They're happy with it. For the most part, I'm generalizing a little bit, but most in my
dude, I want you to be raw and real with me, bro. Just say what you want to say.
Yeah. Well, no, look, most people, like, let's just use IT as an example, right? They don't care, bro, what the company's doing. They're making good money. They're getting paid well. They got their Toyota minivan. They're planning their next vacation. They don't really care what they're doing. Their work doesn't have a lot of meaning to them. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. And it's like, so when we talk in a circle, look, there's nothing to really talk about. You know what I'm saying? Because they're talking about what the new halal restaurant is or this or that. I'm like, I don't really care. Like, all due respect, like, I don't really care that they just opened a new, halal burger joint down the road. Like let's talk about something Like, how are we making the world a better place? Like, how are we making impact? Like, are we building a mosque here? We're building a well? Like, what's happening? And they want to talk about like where the best burger is or whatever, right? And I'm not hating. I'm just here's what I'm saying. Yeah, why do I do what I do? Is because we're all gifted, and what is the purpose of us being in this world? It is to do good and to spread good. So like entrepreneurs, no matter what you're good at, you're either good at like helping people get healthier, wealthier, or in better relationships, right? For example, these are three main sectors. But you're really improving the quality of life. Dude, when I was fat, life sucked. Like, dude, I was fat, 60 pounds heavier than I am. It sucked. Confidence was down, didn't fit in any good clothes. It was slow, no energy. Sucked. I paid a lot of money to get into shape. Damn, bro. And life's so much better, right? So those people helped me. Like, and honestly, like when I was fat, I never made any impact. I never helped anybody. I never made it. Bro, like now, alhamdulillah, like I'm saying this to inspire, not to show off, but like,
please,
alhamdulillah, man, we've built 8 mosques. We've built
amazing, mashallah,
countless water wells. We've given the gift of vision to countless blind people. We've sponsored countless orphans. We've fed countless people. A lot of people don't like it when I say these things. Oh, you're not supposed to say that in Islam. Well, dude, go do your research, right? But the thing is, I'm not saying it to show off. I'm saying it to inspire in the sense that, dude, like there's no cap on the impact and income you can make as an entrepreneur. You know what I mean? Within reason. So my thing is this. You're all good at something. And if I'm helping people, for example, like who help people get healthier, and I'm helping you get to a broader audience and get like, instead of like right now, without me, you're helping 1 or 2 people get healthier and changing it up. But with me, maybe you're helping 100, 1,000 people, and you end up getting one of these trophies from me. Like that's pretty freaking cool. That I got to use my gift to help you spread your gift, because that's impact. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I do what I do, is to help people, because business is like, it's not like you wake up and it's been pretty cool. I have a 1-year-old son, and it's been pretty cool to watch him. He's my 3rd child, and I don't know, maybe I was busier for the first 2, I don't know, but like maybe my memory's not that great, to be honest with you, but it's been so cool, man. He's like my best friend, to be honest with you. It's been so cool, and you know it's really crazy, they're honestly a lot like puppies. It's crazy. It's the first time I've realized this. It's pretty nuts. But to watch him evolve every day, like his first word, his first crawl, his first, the first time he gripped food, the first time he went hand to mouth to eat his food, the first time he held the bottle by himself. I didn't teach him anything. Okay. On his own, he learned how to take a step and crawl and all these things naturally. Bro, business is not like that at all. Like business is no joke. Like, dude, the average person has no idea how to run a business. Yeah. Here's the thing. Here's the problem. The average person has a talent. Yeah. They're going to help somebody get healthier, wealthier, better relationship, whatever. But you have no idea how to wrap a business around that. You can help change the world, but you have no idea how to get your message out there. And that's what we do, is help you wrap a business around your gift so that you can impact millions, make millions, impact millions. And we say make millions because it's just the marketing thing that people like to hear it and they want to make it and stuff. But I don't really care, to be completely honest with you. I'm about the impact. And so that's what this game's all about for me.
I love it, bro. I want to ask you, because every single person really has a framework. You talked a little bit about it previously, but for you, for our entrepreneurs listening to this, what are the main areas? You mentioned them. You mentioned the traffic. You mentioned the funnel. You mentioned sales. So what are the main areas that you tend to work on, focus on with your clients and refine? And those are the ones that really move the needle. Yeah.
Well, to give a little caveat, I primarily work with high ticket entrepreneurs. So people who charge good money for their services, like my specialty, although we've helped people in everything, but like, if you sell, 50-cent pens and you want to sell 1 billion of them, like that's not exactly my specialty. My specialty is like, you help people in a big way and you charge them a lot of money. The fundamentals are very simple, bro. First of all, what most people don't know how to do is present themselves, craft their offer, right? So for example's sake, I always use weight loss because it's just, I don't know why, I just naturally do. But so for example, most people say, yeah, hey, I'm a weight loss coach. Well, that message sucks. And no wonder you don't have any clients, because that's like the worst message ever. It's super generic and you just blend into the crowd. All right. So instead of saying you're a weight loss coach, what about this? I help out of shape dads lose some weight so they finally have enough energy to play with their kids. Because now if I'm a fat dad sitting at home who's like getting guilted by my wife and my mother-in-law that you never play with your kids, you don't have any energy, and I feel, or I see it and I feel bad, and then I see your ad and you're like, hey, I help out of shape dads get enough energy to play with their kids. I'm like, I need that. I need that. Your message, and the average person cannot do this, by the way. Your message needs to, and that's why you have people like myself who can help you with that. But your message needs to be so good that when your ideal client hears that, they're like, oh my God, I need that now. Like they're they're ready to pay you right now. So that's first and foremost. 99% of people, your offer sucks, right? Okay. Then you have your offer. Sorry, man. I use like, I don't use the most conservative language. I apologize.
No, you're good. You're good.
Try to calm down a little bit. Is that
no, I'm loving this, bro. Please keep going.
I don't say the F word. I'm like PG-13. If that's okay.
This is perfectly fine, bro. It's,
maybe.
I've seen the statistics. We cater to 20 plus, so we're good to go.
Okay, all right. Well, no, swearing. I don't off camera. I don't swear that. I don't really swear that much. Maybe in my mother tongue a little bit. But anyway, here's the thing. Yeah. So you have your offer. Where does your offer take them to? Takes them to your website or funnel. Okay, your website or funnel, bro. You need ethical. I've distilled it down to 5 ethical principles of persuasion. Right? Are you a likable authority in your page? Mostly not. People have like some weird, goofy, old 20-year-old picture of themselves saying, "Hey, I'm Mike or I'm Abdullah or whatever." Right? Okay, like you need a nice picture. And like I'll give you, I had one client and he said, "Hi, I'm Abdullah." I'm like, "Bro, you're not Abdullah. You're a doctor, Abdullah. You're a doctor. Why aren't you telling people that?" Like that's like a lot of trust and authority. A lot of people are shy. Like when you're trying to sell something, it's not the time to be shy. Okay, shy is a nice Islamic concept, and I'm not saying to be boastful, and you shouldn't be, but like you should tell the truth. You're a doctor, and it's important to tell people the truth. So, you got likable authority. You got scarcity. Most people don't have any scarcity. You got to give them a reason to buy now because they got 4,000 distractions a day. Social proof. Can't just have some, and people have the worst social proof in the world. There's some screenshot of some guy. Hey, working with Abdullah is great. I'm picking on him. I'm just making up a name, by the way. Hey, working with Abdullah was a lot of fun. That's meaningless. Working with Abdullah changed my entire life. I didn't really believe it at first because I have such a busy schedule. I didn't think that I'd even have time. He got me such results in such little time. I just cannot believe this. So now if I'm reading this and I'm a busy professional and I read them like, okay, this guy can help me too. Like everything every little piece, bro, is an orchestra. This is a mastery. That's why you have so many people fail, bros, because it's like the average Joe from off the street walks into a Hollywood studio where they're filming an Oscar, master class movie, right? Where the music is perfect and the top musicians in the world. The filming equipment's the best in the world. The script is written by the best scriptwriter out there. They have some of the finest actors on the planet. You have some of the best locations on the planet. And some average Joe walks on set and just starts, yeah, all right, cool, I'll be in this movie. Yeah, the boy was walking down in the zoo and the blah, 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 blah. It's going to suck.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. The average person is trying to build a business. Well, it doesn't work like that, bro, because it's deep ethical principles of persuasion. Every single piece in a business, from the offer to the ad to the ethical principles of persuasion in the funnel website to the sales process, it's all deeply orchestrated and is, in fact, when you dive deep, pretty complex. Now, of course, we have distilled it and made it a hell of a lot simpler and given you a system to plug into. But the reality, and I think that's why a lot of people fail, is they just try to do it on their own. Bro, if I went to my house right now, there's some like light bulbs that are out for some reason. If I go into my house right now and try to do some electric work, my house is going to go on fire. You understand what I'm saying? Don't do that. And that's what everyone's doing in their business right now. You're trying to be somebody you're not. Like, do what you do best and outsource the rest. And don't tell me you can't afford to outsource it, because then my dad told me, bro, like, you got to understand something. Like, my dad came to New York in the 70s, with no money. It was snowing. There's a big Lincoln Town Car stuck in the snow. Him and his brother sat on the trunk to put weight on that car, and it got unstuck from the snow, right? If you don't live in a country with snow, you have no idea what I'm talking about. But anyway.
I live in Montreal, so I have a very good idea.
Okay. The driver comes out of the car and gives my dad and his brothers $1. My dad says, "This is the greatest country in the world. You can never go hungry." Right? So the job of an entrepreneur is to create something out of nothing. If you can't make money without money, you're not going to make money with money. I can promise you that. Take a look at my brother, man. My brother's got a really big company. Did $50 million last year. He had this mindset problem years ago. He was in a business that wasn't working. He's like, it's not working because I don't have money. I need a lot of money to make this business work. I need a lot of money to make this business work. That's why. And he never made it work. Him and I started a mattress company with nothing, bro. We were selling used mattresses on Craigslist. Okay. Made a little bit of money from that. Printed lawn signs saying $99 mattresses. Go to the Walmart parking lot. When the security guard drove this way, we would quickly put the lawn signs up in the Walmart Walmart parking lot because you're not allowed to do that. It was a long time ago. We were kids. Made a little bit of money from that. Bought a radio spot at an Indian show. Talked about sleep. Made a little money from that. Boom, 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 boom. From nothing to 50 million a year, and that's entrepreneurship. Is making something out of nothing. You know what I mean? So you're asking what it takes to be an entrepreneur. It's like, that's what it takes, bro, is that grit, that determination, that like no excuses, make something out of nothing, that desperation, that obsession. Like 99% of people are not capable of this. Take a look at the stats. Most people go into business, go out of business, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, this is the reality of it.
I appreciate you sharing that, Akbar. Look, man, what can you give us because we've been, I'm diving so deep into this conversation. I'm so enamored by what you're saying that I'm losing track of time, but I want to respect the time that you have. What can you give us or this is a better question, it's one that I ask many of the guests that come on the show. If you could meet the younger version of you that was 18 years old, that was about to go through the journey of adulthood and every up and down that you would go through, you're able to tell him one thing. You're able to look at him and tell him one piece of advice. What would you tell him?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think one of the top things that I would tell people is be extremely mindful of your environment. Be extremely protective of your environment. What do I mean by that? Well, like I told you, I was really fat before. What was my environment? I'd be at McDonald's, Wendy's, and Burger King every day. That was my environment. I switched my environment to Trader Joe's, Whole Foods, so on and so forth. What happened? Lost 60 pounds. I used to party with rock star animals all the time. And when I was in that environment, what was I? A loser. Started hanging out with successful people. I became successful. I used to hang out with people who didn't pray in that environment. What was the result? I never prayed. Changed my environment to hang out with people who prayed. Guess what? I pray 5 times a day. So I be very mindful what you put in your mouth, who you hang out with, what you're listening to, because you are who you hang out with. And I screwed up many of my years hanging out with the wrong crowd. So, I have a late start, bro. Like I look at all these like millennials crushing. I'm like, I just started 5 years ago. You know what I mean? Y'all, I'm like, you're all like 25 and you've been doing it for 5 years. You know what I mean? So it's like, I got a late start in the game and it was because of that. It was because I was not mindful of my environments and I was never God-fearing. We never really got into my story, but long story short, like I was a party animal, crazy party animal guy. Ended up in the hospital, half dead from partying too much. Allah saved me and I went totally clean, dropped all my bad habits, started getting spiritual, prayed 5 times a day, got really into Islam, changed my entire life. I never had any success before that. Changed my entire life. Got to marry a really great girl who never would have married me if I was still that party animal. And she helped me a lot too, but I never would have married her if I was still in those old environments. And so this is very, very important and essential for everyone to bear in mind, I think.
Where can we tell people to go if they want your support and they want more help, they want to learn from you or get some coaching from you?
You can just go to a website that no one outside the Muslim community knows how to spell or pronounce, but we still rocked it anyway. And it's just my name, akbarsheikh.com. But for your audience, I have a gift for them, and that's akbarsheikh.com/gift. What's the gift? It's a surprise.
Amazing. I'm so excited for that. We're going to drop it in the episode notes, guys. Go and check out the link in the episode notes. If you're watching on YouTube, it'll be in the description. If you're a Spotify or Apple, it'll be in the episode notes. akbarsheikh.com, SHEIKH.com/gift, and make sure to go and sign up for that. Brother, this was an absolute masterclass of an episode. I loved every minute of it. I want to bring you back on, inshallah, and do this more often with you, but I really just enjoyed every minute. I know people are going to benefit, and I thank you so much for being so raw and authentic with everything you shared today. Thank you for that.
Inshallah. Jazakallah. Thanks, everybody. Peace.
Thank you so much. And you guys know the drill, guys. Make sure to subscribe to the episode, rate and review if you like and enjoy this episode and the podcast in general. And make sure to follow us, Ummahpreneur, on all social media platforms. We'll see you in the next episode, guys. Take care. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.